So, Axiom in its current state is it's focused on note taking predominantly for college students, but it will eventually expand onward to being used in like meetings and whatnot. Um, but a core goal, a fundamental goal that it has is ensuring uh, one seamless and feasible experience, and with that, um, it needs to expand its reach into Google Docs such that users can not only edit their Google Docs in Axiom, but they can also export documents from Axiom into Google Docs or save it to their Google Drive. Um, so the way that works is Axiom adapts what it is calling a fluid login, which simply means um, even though you can be logged in on like through the app or Apple or Google, it doesn't matter. A user will always have access to their Google account, given that they log in and start a session on the app. So, for example, we'll log in with Google. It might ask me to do some stuff. Let's see. I believe it's going to ask scan a code. Yep. All right. And now what's being shown on the screen right now, this would be the flow state that the user sees on the app. So, for example, importing a document from Google Docs would prompt the user to sign into the according Google account such that Axiom can access the given Drive and Google Doc accounts. Let's see here. It's not wanting to work for some reason. Yeah, it was just working. Okay, I guess. Oh, no, don't want that. Alright. No. My, ay. Of course, it's going to show the app is not verified, which is going to proceed. And it will, of course, Google will mention what we are going to get access to. So I can see, edit, create, and delete all of your Google Drive files only when the user prompts the app to do so. So it will only ever see files in the Google Drive, edit files, create files, or delete files upon the user's request. And really the app only ever will be able to create, edit, and import. It won't delete. That is something the user will do on their own time, on the actual platform, not on Axiom. It won't download any of the files. So the reason why it's not read-only is, well, we need to be able to create and edit, and also see, because what Axiom does is it takes all of the files from Google Drive or Google Docs, depending, and it will display it to the user. So that way the user can select what files or documents they want to import. Log in, it'll say, little joke, because it's currently 3 a.m. So it's saying, Mocha, what are you doing here at this time? Onward. As you can see, this document right here has a little Google Doc icon. This is indicating that this has been imported from Google Docs, and don't mind the bugs of content being where it's not supposed to be. The app is currently being worked on for version 1.3. Version 1.2 just released last night, so some key changes are happening to the UI. But to continue, we'll come down here, and there's a very clear import from Google Docs. I don't have import from Google Drive. That's coming in version 1.3. So we're going to click import from Google Docs, and it's going to grab all of the Google Docs that is linked to my email that I'm logged in with right now. So as we can see, there's quite a bit. We're going to import this one. Select. It'll get the document, and it will tell us, it imported, or in other words, it got the document's information. We can drop it down. There's nothing in the document. Finish, and then we can come back. And since it already existed, it just overwrote this. We can go back in. We can import another one. Again, there's going to be some bugs. It's being worked on. I believe WOA has some. No, it doesn't. Trying to find something that has content in it. And none of them has content. That is surprising. Okay. Well, that's just anyways. I think these are all just test documents from whenever I was testing stuff out a couple hours ago. Yeah. But yep, that's the gist. So, logging in, so if the user logs in through the app, whenever they click import from Google Docs, it will pull up the screen to log in with a Google account, ask them if they haven't already to approve the app to have access to Drive and Google Docs, and then if they give access, import from Google Docs will proceed onward to this screen, the loading screen that you saw there, that screen. Otherwise, it will say, well, this isn't something in the app yet. I'm currently implementing it, but otherwise it will say Axiom does not have access to Google Drive or Google Docs. Please enable access. Still getting all that figured out. So contingent on whether or not the user allows access, it will proceed onward and grab all of the documents or all of the files within the user's drive and display it, so that way they can select which files they want. And we can select multiple here. So if I were to click select, it would import all of these. Successfully imported all 4 documents. We can open them, and it only ever allows them to import, edit, create, or export. So exporting, let's say I add hello world here. If we go over to save changes, get a nice little summary, and then it'll create completions. And if we click on that, it'll come up with this. Anyways, export, save to Google Docs. That's it. It saves. And so technically, if we were to come here, forgot to actually save this as save. And then it should be good after this. Save changes, yes. That's something else I'm working on as well. Oh, I forgot to add it back. Hello world. So, yep, there's a few bugs, but so whenever this button gets clicked, it does get saved to Google Docs. But the user is still required to come in here, click Save Changes, and then it saves it. So now, theoretically for now, hopefully objectively, but theoretically here, whenever we re-import it, oh, look at that. It got updated. It's showing as number 1. Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyways, so yep, that's the gist. Users can log in through the app, through Apple, or through Google. If they sign in through Google or sign up through Google, and they allow access, they won't be prompted to log in whenever when they click this button. But if they sign in through means other than Google, they will, and they don't already have a cached session on the app, that the Google library and SwiftUI can restore. It will ask them to log in. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. They can only import. Now, I mean, we can create a new document, but again, it's all messed up. So users can create a document, and then where it says save to Google Docs, it will say create a Google Doc. And what that'll do is it sends a request to the server, and the server handles the creation. So it takes the markdown, the raw markdown of the file. It takes that and it converts it to the metadata that a Google Doc requires to display content correctly in the Google Doc. And then afterwards, it'll say save to Google Docs, and pretty straightforward. Like I said, nothing more than just editing, importing, exporting, and creating a Google Doc is happening on Axiom, and as has been aforementioned, the ability to import, export, create, and edit Google Drive files is being added in version 1.3, and that's what I'm currently adding right now. As you have seen, there is quite a lot of bugs, but that is okay. What you have seen is what the live app, uh, live on App Store, currently has available. So